looking at there, the title is One Borer, Many Appellations, One Very Specific Plant. Okay? The borer is known as the corn borer, the pepper borer, the tomato fruit worm. It attacks all kinds of plants. It's got a different name. It's the same bug. And the one thing that really gives you good control is high levels of a wasp that loves to feed on clary sage. Clary sage is a gorgeous plant. Lisa, I wish that sometime, oh, she's not here right now. Remember I told her that we got to sometime try and pull out a still from that shot we had with clary sage. Remember that shot last year, Taylor? The plant was like, if this was the bed, the plant was like that tall. It had massive flowers like that on it. They're gorgeous before they open, gorgeous while they open, and then covered up with beneficial insects. And particularly covered up with, are particularly adept at feeding this one wasp that controls that borer. You know, and usually I say, you know, I don't talk about formulas and stuff, but that's one that if you can get it, it's way worth doing because it really will give you help with a potential major problem. For us, that problem tends to just be the corn borer. We tend not to have much damage from the other borers, but we do have corn borer damage. And by the way, we need to save seed from our plant and start over again. We didn't establish a good quality, mostly from too much mulching and mowing. This is one that does well on beneficials, but if you don't not mulch too much, if you mulch too much, you tend not to get the volunteers. So we're going to have to grow it and plant it out every year because we do too much mulching, and that's not going to allow us to volunteer. The other thing, remember I talked about multifunctionality? The other great thing about that is that that plant also, if you happen to be into doing crafts or selling at market, we're doing potpourris and stuff, it's one of the very best fixtures for potpourris and perfumes. So it's got, you know, many other values too. It's also what they season muscatel wine with. I'm not sure they make muscatel wine anymore. So when I was a kid, that was one of the wines that was out there. And it was this wine with this real strange flavor, and it was seasoned with clary sage. It's called clary sage. In the Middle Ages, they thought it was good for your vision. I have no idea if that's true or not. For us, it's about the beneficial insects. This is the first shot I kind of skipped through, right? It said before, right? That was when I first got to Highland Lake Inn. Do you remember that shot? It was just like rows and rows of the same vegetables, no flowers, nothing but the same thing. It looked kind of pretty in a way, but very, very regimented and uniform. And this is the after. It's actually not in Highland Lake. I had to dig back into my old computer to find a shot from that. But it's the same concept. You can see flowers everywhere. It's later in the summer, so way more is in bloom than you see out there right now. But that's what it'll look like out there by July. Just loads of flowers. Lisa will film it. You get to see it. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just going to let it boil until we can possibly put it in too soon, and we won't have a vegetable record. Okay. This is Tansy, and if we could blow it up more and see better, we'd probably see all kinds of other things in there. Ladybug larva, ladybug pupa, all kinds of other stuff. Right here you just have two ladybugs reproducing down there. Tansy, not in flower, almost certainly extrafloromectaries, covered up with beneficial insects. It was known as a strewing herb in the old days. They would cut it and strew it in the doorways and stuff to keep fleas out, keep cockroaches out. It's strong smelling. We don't do that nowadays, but it is a good edge plant. It tends to run and be invasive, so be careful where you put it. Ideally put it where you can mow around. But it is a great beneficial insect plant, really wonderful. Okay, there, remember I talked about goldenrod getting aphids? Can you tell that there's red aphids on there? That's what all the red you see there is. It's not a great shot, I apologize. I'm getting to be a better photographer. But if I can evoke it for you, all these guys here, all those guys, those are aphids. All those big blotches of red, and then kind of see the golden balls. That's the same thing you saw on the bottom of that leaf, except for they're not as far gone, so they're golden. And that's the control we're getting. That's that aphid bloom that I talked about that brings in all the beneficials that happens on goldenrod. Okay, you saw it. You don't need this picture. Anybody tell me what that is? This is a test.
It's a lady beetle. It's a pupa.
Pupa, yes. Bingo. That's what it is. It's a ladybug pupa. Yes. And this, a mass of eggs. What do you think they are? Anybody ever seen eggs that look like that? What do you think it is? You guess it's ladybug eggs. You got it. You got it. Any number of people would tell me potato beetle eggs because they look just like it. But major giveaway, it's on Angelica. Potato beetles can't eat Angelica, so you know that it's going to be ladybugs. You know? It's very simple. You know? Very easy to relax and be happy about it. Okay, this one here, I don't know, I shouldn't even leave it in here because you can't see it well enough to tell. That's another lampiris, same family as lightning bugs. Let me go for you. You see this kind of narrow beetle, kind of mostly the same size, a little narrower at the head, and with red right along the sides of its head. That's one of the lampirids, and it's a beneficial also. I left it in because that is the leaf of the anacism. And so it's already hanging out in the anacism before it's even in flower. So it's probably also got extra-format berries or aphids or something that are bringing the beneficials in. But I should pull that one, it's just too lousy a picture. Here, anybody recognize the plant? Milkweed. What's on it? Milkweed aphids, all that yellow. What's feeding on it? Ladybug. Ladybug. I have other shots of ladybug pupa, other shots of the coated wasp. Everything in the world likes to feed on that blue of aphids. That is an aphid that's very peculiar to the milkweed. That is the milkweed bug. Milkweed seed bug. It specifically feeds on the seed pods of milkweed. Very specific. Nice soft bug, lots of it. All kinds of beneficial insects feed on it. Can I get you to hit the thing while I do this? Okay, cut this off. Okay, that is the adult milkweed seed bug. I just wanted you to know what it looked like. It's beneficial in that it lays eggs that get they turn into babies that get preyed on. Nothing much will eat that because it's bright colored and toxic. But the youngins are good food. They will feed loads of beneficials. Okay, let's move on. All right, this is one of my iconic shots. It's just not great once again. We are a little dark, you might see it better, but that dark thing there is a ladybug larva. We'll see a picture. We didn't get to see any out there, but we'll see a picture of it. That is a spine soldier bug, and that's the thing I described. Remember I said I was out picking potato beetle larva, and I found a ladybug larva being eaten? So this plant was covered in potato beetle larva, and I was going to take them off, but instead I saw this and took a picture, didn't take them off, came back the next day, and they were gone anyways. So either other bugs, but probably just that one spine soldier bug, ate 15 or 20 of those in one day. And that's why when we walked through there, we couldn't find any bugs in the potatoes. We've done nothing to control the potato beetles. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this one here, it's too light to even see it. We'll get to another one. So I have the vote for you. That's another spine soldier bug, and there's actually a cabbage worm that it's inhaling. So we'll move on and we'll see the next picture. We'll show. Okay, now this is more bracketing. Most everybody knows squash beetles and bean beetles, right? They tear up squash, they tear up beetles, beans, they look about the same. One's bigger, one's smaller. You know the yellow larva, kind of with hair sticking out, that's their larva. They're all over eating the plants too, right? This guy here used to be a yellow larva, but we released a wasp called Pediobius fovulatus. Don't ask me to spell it, it took me 10 years to learn how to say it. Okay. We get that from New Jersey, we release it as soon as we see the pest. That's what happened to that larva. Now it has about 15 of those wasps in there. Okay. Meanwhile, we're bracketing once again because we also have a ladybug larva right there, looks like an alligator, feeding on the eggs of this guy. So between the two, pretty darn good, I'd say basically total control of that pest. Okay, let's move on. This one here, this is an iconic shot, and it's not mine. This is by Linda Blue, now retired extension agent. She was kind enough to let me use it. Ladybug larva, two-spotted stink bug. First time I learned about two-spotted stink bug, Kenny Haynes was walking through his farm with an intern who stopped and said, "What's this bug stuck in the light bulb with a full-size potato beetle?" As it went up, that little bug stuck that armored proboscis right in the neck and was sucking up potato beetle dry. And he took the bug down to the extension agents and nobody could ID it. And Dr. McDonald had to say, dig deeper, pull out your biocontrol. Look, it's on the front cover. And that's happening there. That larva is having a very bad day. It is having a very bad day. And so that's the ideal, is when you get that level of predation, you might not even have to bring in the predator. You might have control just with that level of predation. That is pretty amazing. Okay, next one. Okay, if you want to, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Here you can see it a little better. If I had a pointer, I could show it better. What can I use for a pointer? Here we go. That is a worm right there, that green line, and that is another spine soldier bug, sucking the life out of it. It's actually a better shot. I have to learn how to make the shots look better. For some reason, PowerPoint usually does it, but it's not doing it today. I don't know why. There's also another worm right there, and another worm there, and I guarantee you that guy's not done eating. He's going to move right on. Those guys either know or don't know, but can't get away quick enough. They are finished. This guy is quite voracious, and there's another worm up here. And look at the level of damage to the capsule plant, to the rocket plant. You know, it's really torn up, right? It was easily 40% damage, and yet I had heads like that. You know, no problem at all. The damage level really doesn't matter. The plant can recover from that. You know, you just don't want it in your head. That's it. Okay, we just saw this. What we didn't get to see was that's the worm they came out of. But that's the same eggs we just saw. Right? Except for here you can see what they came out of. The adult Draconian wasp laid their eggs in that worm, and then when they were maturing, they came out, now they're pupating. And now we said they were eggs, they're not really eggs, they're cocoons. They're going to hatch open. Each one of those things we called eggs, we were saying that wrong. They're cocoons. Each one's going to hatch open, a wasp is going to fly out and go looking for more worms to feed on. After she has something to eat, then she's going to go lay those eggs. Or she's going to be in Walmart parking lot and not lay very many eggs and not find any worms. Okay. Come on here. This is just an idea of what you can do. It's fun. It gives you it's not like you never want to mass flowers, it's fine to mass flowers. This is pretty ideal. This is the Mountain Manor Community Garden. And one of the members didn't want to grow vegetables, she just wanted to grow flowers. And she was very appreciative of what good care we took of her bed when she was away. And that's because we loved having it, because it was our place for beneficial insects. So it was a mutually beneficial relationship. That's it. Okay. So, I have at the end of this handout the important questions. Talk is cheap, but what about those pests that we just can't easily control? And you know what? I confess, there are ones that still befuddle me that I still have a hard time with. The new one for me, which I got a few possible solutions to, I don't know if you've heard about it, but it just showed up last year, here. It actually showed up in Western North Carolina at Tansy Campbell's book school about a year earlier. And it's the spotted-winged Drosophila. Anybody heard about the spotted-winged Drosophila? Drosophila, D-O-R-O. And then Sophila, S-O-P-H-I-L-I-A probably, something like that. It's a fruit fly. It's a particularly nasty version of a fruit fly because fruit flies normally, what they do is they attack fruit that's already damaged, bruised, or rotting. They don't tend to attack because they can't easily get their eggs into fruit that's healthy. The problem with this fruit fly, which by the way, came from good old Asia, part of our new trade pattern. We don't make things, we just buy them at Walmart. And it came in with trade from China, and it has a serrated ovipositor. I got a serrated knife I'm working with right now. If I cut myself with that thing, I gotta go get some yarrow. They're incredibly sharp, and a serrated ovipositor allows it to cut into the fruit and lay eggs into fresh fruit. And so then, it's heartbreaking. You pick all this fruit, stick it in your fridge, and a bunch of flies come out of your fridge. It's really freaking out soft fruit growers. And it would age your way. I gave you that example because I don't have a lot of good solutions. I'll tell you what we do know. So nobody's had that problem. Has anybody grown raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, any of that stuff? Solutions we know of now are screening, and I have a fellow grower trying to track down a very good price on screen that's small enough from a researcher at Columbia. Lots of conferencing trying to come up with solutions. Richard thinks that beneficial nematodes will help reduce the numbers a lot, because when it's raining, they'll even swim into the fruit and get the bugs on the plant, and they'll get anybody that drops into the ground at all. So you just reduce the numbers. The other thing is very good garden hygiene. Every fallen fruit from those plants, every bad fruit, make sure you pick it and dispose of it in a way that the flies can't come out. Another option is to try and use tricks to get your fruit to ripen earlier. The earlier in the season, the less buildup, the less problem. They have loads of nasty sprays that will kill it. None of them are allowed in organic. So if you're not into organic, you can find out all kinds of very toxic things that will give you much more control, but I'm sure that they don't want me to act like they got it easy, because that's expensive, and the conditions, if it's too cold, too windy or something, they can't spray. This is a problem for everybody, but it's a huge problem for organic growers. That's an example of one that we haven't got solutions for. There are other really tough ones we do have solutions for, at least some solutions. Maybe not enough solutions, but somewhat. So let's go over those. Which ones are it? And I'm going to admit I can think of now, and then you can ask me other ones, okay? We've covered these all pretty well. Harlequin bugs, I've described it pretty well. What we do is we rotate so they can't build up. We come in after we've cleaned up and spray with soap. We check early in the season, real close, look for damage, clean them up. Lisa just gave us a great new tip. Early morning's a great time to get them, easier to collect them. They're up top rather than hiding out down below the leaves. The other good thing about early morning, they're moving slow. They're real quick to drop to the ground when it's warm out. When it's cold, they haven't had their coffee yet. And they just aren't moving. And you can get them. You just knock them into the soap and get control. But the other thing is do that rotation if you have enough land. If your whole garden is the size of this building or something, or smaller, rotation's not going to be any good at all. It's too small a space. There's other reasons to rotate from soil, so you don't keep taking the same nutrients out of one place. That's not going to control harlequin bugs. But what you can do is that hygiene, do the hand picking and come in at the end of the crop, hit it with 20% stronger than label soap, and you'll knock back all remaining adults probably, and hurt the eggs, and reduce your population for next year. Keep your population reduced enough, it never gets to build up to a problem before you take the crop out. It's not like they're not around, but they never get to that outbreak stage. And there are, by the way, Richard says they're gregarious. They hang out together to protect their eggs, and they protect their eggs from getting another tiny wasp. So once again, the more farmscaping, the more you have that wasp. And if you're getting the adults, those eggs are exposed, you get control that way too. So that's harlequin bugs. Vine borer, you heard my solution, right? It's simply soap and Bacillus thuringiensis, dichlordiphenol is the brand I know of that's allowed organic, twice a week at the base of the stem, and you got control. Japanese beetles. Japanese beetles, I'm sure you've all noticed, right? Some years, no problem. Other years, big problem. Why no problem some years, big problem other years? It's pretty simple. If we had a dry August, no problem. If we had a wet August, much problem. Why? The beetles lay their eggs in the ground. If the ground is soft, they can dig in quicker and lay more eggs. If the ground is hard, they can't get in. So if it's dry, they don't do as well. It's as simple as that. Things you can do. You can grow things that they like to hang out in. An example would be you can get a cultivar, not Japanese knotweed, but a cultivar of it, they love it. And it'll feed beneficials, and then they'll lay their eggs around that. You love the roses, they'll lay their eggs around that. So then you come in and you just treat the soil right there with nematodes or with milky spore. You can spread the milky spore everywhere. That helps to give you some control. Do we do that here? Even though we put nematodes out, do we think we get much control? No, because if you look out this window behind you, all the way in across the street is turf, which is where they lay their eggs, and we have no control over it. So we can kill every Japanese beetle in our property here and basically still be buried in Japanese beetles. Our big solution in bad years is surround. People know what surround is? Anybody not know what surround is? Okay. Surround, you got to go to crop protection services down there, and our crop protection service rather down there in Hendersonville to get it at a good price, or even get it. I don't even know if they sell it in small bags. It comes in a big bag. It'll cost you 25, 30 bucks, but it'll last you forever. You spray it on, the sprayer, it coats the plant in this white clay, superfine clay. That clay clogs the spiracles, the breathing holes of the insects, so they don't like to hang out on it. And what you want to do is get it on before the bugs show up. If they're used to eating there, they might say, oh God, I can hardly breathe, but I'm hungry, and they'll keep eating. But if you get it on there before they show up, it usually will keep them off. I've had excellent control of bean beetles and Japanese beetles by getting that on good and early. It does come off in a heavy rain, so you got to put it on again. But it's not that hard.
And then Pat, you were saying Surround also gave you some sun
yes,
relief.
Exactly. Surround also has the wonderful added benefit of cooling the plants off in the afternoon so they photosynthesize longer. Plants shut down the photosynthesis at about 85 degrees. And they found that even though it's blocking sunlight, because it's white stuff on the leaf, it actually gets enough photosynthesis done that the extended time that it can photosynthesize means a net gain in photosynthesis. We use it just to keep our plants cool in the greenhouse. I was thinking yesterday that we should probably start spraying it out. These plants really suffer from the heat in the greenhouse, and the Surround just cools them off and they get better. So we use it more and more. I mean, I've actually looked at the black fabric, because we kind of went crazy with it this year. If it gets really hot, we might just surround our black fabric, just to make it brighter, to make it cooler. It's cheap enough, it's harmless as can be. They actually have on the label, it can be eaten. It is not a registered pesticide. It's a protectant, but it's not a registered pesticide. So it's pretty darn wonderful stuff. Okay, it's kind of go crazy. We're going to have to slide. Yeah, throw it in here. Just toss it in. Yeah, cut it up and then I'll see if we have some milk sauteed. If not, I'll give it to somebody to take home. I don't think it's any good oil. Okay, so, Japanese beetles. The only thing to know about them is that it is not true that the traps don't work. Yes, they will attract some beetles, but if those beetles are around, they're going to come into your crops anyways. But what's critical is that your traps not be anywhere near your crops, because they may be headed towards the lure and then get distracted and end up on your crops. So what you do is you put them about 50 feet out around your crops in a U shape. You leave one end open, you don't want to trap any in there, right? And then let's say you do every 50 feet, 50 feet out, at about 25 feet, you come in from 2 and put 1 there. And that's as close as you get in. And then change them often, empty them often so the stink of the dying beetles doesn't mask the floral smell that attracts them. And by the way, one of the attractants, if you want to make your own trap, that attracts them is eugenol, which is simply what's in clover. So you can actually attract them with clover. So if you want to make your own trap, you can do it. Other people have set those traps up but left the bag off it and put it in their chicken yard. So they come in and the chickens just wait there. They just hang out and wait. Oh, there's another one. And they just clean them up. So those are other ways to control Japanese beetles. The good news is that if you live in the woods, you've got a fair chance that a lot of predation is going to occur to them by tipia wasps, spring tipia wasps. And spring tipia wasps, we use this for a second. Can you look back there and see if you can find some oil? Or are you afraid? See if there's any oil anywhere.
Taylor, shut that thing off. Taylor.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just shut that off. Spring tipia wasp was imported back in the 30s from China. And it does the same thing Scolia dubia does. It burrows down in, it's a digger wasp, burrows down in and stings the Japanese beetle larva, lays an egg on it, and then you have control. You could go next to a rose or some other plant that attracts Japanese beetles and do a test dig and see if you had it infected. And that wouldn't improve your odds any, but you'd have the comfort of knowing that you had spring tibia wasp working for you. Milky spore is a disease that affects Japanese beetles. The bad news is that just like all the major diseases that affect us, syphilis, measles, all those things, They were way worse when they first hit a new population. Eventually, as people die off from it, nature selects for more resistant humans. Same thing happens with milky spore, which is a disease in Japanese beetles. It's now about 40% less effective than it used to be. So I tend not to go with it. I try beneficial nematodes because that takes care of other things too. The last thing to say about that looks like it'll work. Now, Dr. McDonald actually has a solution that someday we're going to convince our governing bodies that they should invest in. We really can see it on a county by county level. For about $20,000, several months' work, he could go to New England with this predator. I think it's ISCH something, fly, which he knows exactly how to say, and I don't remember. Right? It's probably one of our handouts here, right? Been introduced from China, and it's established in New England. Can you see me get that open? That one looks more promising. At least it looks like a little, and I hope it works better. There's a brought here from England. Yeah, that'll work. If you can get another bowl and toss that this in a little bit of oil, and then toss it in the frying pan. Anyways, he traps these guys. He's got to bury them in the ground, wrapped in wire, because mice will eat them otherwise, right? They're all fly people, right? That's how he brings them down here. If they can survive being eaten by mice and stuff, they'll hatch out, they'll fly around, they lay their egg in the neck of a Japanese beetle. And this is, you know, the aliens ever come here and they eat humans, guess who's getting eaten first? Women. More fat, more nutrition. That's not meant to be an insult. It's just women need more fat because they nurse babies. That's biology. You know, men have more muscle mass, women have more fat. Different biological roles. Now, definitely, some of those bicyclist women, they're in good shape. You know, some of those marathoners, they're not going to get taken out by the aliens first because they've gone ahead and worked against biology and they've got more muscle. But otherwise, that's how it goes. And that's what's happening with that fly. There's more fat in the females. And as far as a survival strategy, the last thing you want is to have the women taken out. Because the men, you don't need too many of them. They can cover a lot of territory. The women, every one is needed if they're going to reproduce. Men aren't needed for the actual reproduction. So because of that being the way it works biologically, this predator is incredibly effective. Those are the pests I have on there. I know there are other pests. Oh, flea beetles. Anybody have trouble with flea beetles? Me too. You saw the damage to the cabbage out there, right? Last fall, the miracle was we put nematodes. We get compost tea bags from this man named Charlie Clark in upstate New York, or in New York somewhere. He's a greenskeeper. He makes his own compost with nematodes in it. And we make that tea and we spray it out when it's raining, gently raining on the soil. The nematodes wash in. Last fall, we put Chinese cabbage, arugula, all kinds of brassicas in this garden here. And it took 10 days to 2 weeks to see a single flea beetle. We never had any significant flea beetle damage. And I guarantee you, I have no doubt, that was the nematodes. This spring, I don't know if I'd say that. We haven't had as much flea beetle damage. It's been so cool, they don't like it, so maybe not now. But last fall, absolutely. That was our control. Let's see. Okay, then the other piece is, and it's not going to work. If you're growing greens, you cannot spray surround on it if you're anywhere near eating it, because you'll never get it off. But when they're little, which is when they really get hurt, you can spray surround. They'll outgrow it. They'll wash off. You'll never see it there. Now, I got to warn you, things like collards and kale, it doesn't stick as well because they have waxy leaves. But if you try hard enough, you can get a decent coating, and it makes a big difference. It also slows down the harlequin level. So it's got a double advantage. So a surround is a very useful tool for anything that gets eaten on. Okay? Can anybody think of any other pests that they're bothered by? Cucumber beetles, like I said, diversity, I can't tell you. I'll also tell you though, see the thing is, I do know things that'll control them in the soil. The problem is they can come in from a quarter mile away. So yes, you can control the ones you have in your yard with nematodes. Easily. They'll control it. But you can't control the ones coming from your neighbor's yard, unless they'll let you spray their yard. And then how many yards do you want to buy nematodes for? So that's not as easy a solution. There is this thing called side track, C-I-D-E, track, right? And I think it's Midwest or Northwest, North Central IPM is the supplier. I'm pretty sure, but I can check back with Dr. McDonald. If you have a question, email me. I'll get you the exact name. And it is a lure that you can put on a sticky trap that you can make. And actually, if you don't want to send away for sticky trap ingredients and stuff, it actually works fairly well just to put fresh motor oil on a yellow card. And it'll stick to that pretty well too. But you can buy this stuff called Tanglefoot, put that on a yellow card, and then put the lure on it, they'll all fly to it and get stuck. And you can track them and control them that way. I don't really know, maybe the solution I have for the voles chases away the voles too. I just always have to speak up for the voles because they are beneficial in lots of ways, right? But probably what I'm going to offer as a solution is going to be hard on them too. I have two solutions. My solution is Xena the Warrior Princess, my rat terrier. You know? And a good cat, you know. Rocco's cat just killed a mink. Well, that's a tough cat. It's a sad thing, but you know, being that he's a chicken and turkey farmer, there are worse places to lose a mink. You know? Because they can kill 10 or 15 of them in one night. You know? And these guys are like this big. But they're incredibly voracious. But a good cat or a good dog can go, I mean, and my Jack Russell breaks my heart when I've got a bed and there's a mole in it because the bed has been trashed. And if she did that all summer long, I wouldn't let her in the garden. The thing is, terrier, I wonder if it comes from the same root as terrorist. Because what her impact is, pretty soon those guys are gone. It's just not good here. There's this terrible predator that all it wants to do is dig us out of the ground. And likewise for rats. You don't just corner a rat in a wood pile. It either gets it or come that night the rat moves on. So rat terrier or a cat, very good solution. You may not want to have pets. That will be the solution. But the other solution that I know of that works for sure is something called shake away. And what's the name of that company now? Darn. I'll have to come to me and put it on the webpage for you, or call back into the radio show. I'll make sure that it will come to me. It's just one of those things like I can't put it on the filing cabinet right this second. But it's an online company, and they sell it. And shake away. It's this delightful combination of either artificial or real bobcat and coyote urine with garlic oil. And they offer two different ways to use it. I don't recommend it. One way, which is sprinkled around your perimeter, way wasteful, one hard rain and it's gone. Like a quarter teaspoon to a half teaspoon for every hole you see, and they're basically gone. It chases out moles, voles, and chipmunks. And that's been my best solution. Otherwise, they're pretty problematic. Though, really, the only thing they've been problematic for us for is root crops. Otherwise, they do a little bit of damage, but not enough for us to care about. When we stopped growing sweet potatoes in that garden, the year before last, we had sweet potatoes this big. We knew they were that big by the little nub that was here, which was huge. You know, it ate the whole rest of it out, or left the skin and that was eaten. We lost probably 60% of our crop. Our solution: move down the road a couple miles in a field that we have that's heavy clay. They don't like the work. You know? I have a friend, Yana Fishman. She purposely, did you ever find fire him? It'll work. You'll just set it on one of the burners and get it hot. Put a little bit of oil in it, just flash it around. She has very sandy soil, very loose soil. So, you know the whole thing about don't walk on beds? She walks on her beds. She doesn't want her beds to be loose. She makes her beds more dense to try and control her voles. Okay, Dr. Richard McDonald has had great success with the euphorbia that's called the mole plant. Not the castor bean, but the other mole plant. It's in the family of euphorbias, and it's toxic, and it just drives moles away. If you go online and look for mole plant, you'll find it. And he swears by that. He says that totally solves the problem. I have yet to try it. I haven't had that much trouble with it, so I don't worry about it. But, I mean, those are the things I try. You know, probably in the order of, if you like pets, get a pet that does it for you, that's the easiest, you know. But then if you're not into pets, then I would say go with shake away and the mole plant. and that's probably your best bet. And don't try and grow sweet potatoes in wonderful soil. And beware, the better you make the soil, the more voles you're going to get. More voles you're going to get. Both. You know, the voles are going to come in. If one bird, if the birds work, if you have a really good bed, and the voles and stuff are coming in, and think maybe about stopping right there and not trying to make it any more loose and fine. That's probably good enough for any plant too if they like it a lot. Instead, just use cover crops to build it. Stop adding lots of compost and stuff. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing. And we tend to, I still do it, I'm telling you that, but I still want to add compost every day. I just can't resist. We have good compost, it does so many other good things. But it does increase the ability of voles and voles to thrive. Okay, any other pests?
What about groundhogs?
Groundhogs, right? Good dog. Trap. That's about it. Or, I mean, okay, no. Fencing. But it's got to be serious fencing and you got to maintain it. I did it was totally successful for several years, but then eventually holes developed in it and stuff. The way I did the fencing works for rabbits too. If rabbits are a problem, I'm not going to have a problem with people. The fence is like 3 feet tall, barbed wire on top that I was going to electrify. I never had to. You know, but I would have if I had to, right? So if it came up and touched it, it wouldn't go any further. But I just never wanted to deal with that barbed wire anyways. 3 feet tall and 2 feet. You got 5 foot fencing. Came down and went out 2 feet. It was stapled to the ground. So they come up to it, right? They can easily burrow under it, but they don't burrow away from the fence. They come to the fence and then they can try and go down. They can't. They give up. So that works pretty darn well. But if that doesn't work, trapping, and trapping doesn't always work, the people I know who are most effective are good shots. I know 10 Mile Farm, he says about 50 a year. He eats them, I think. I'm pretty sure he said he ate them.
Yeah, Cherokee used to eat them, I understand.
Groundhog fat was considered one of the major medicinals by both the Cherokee and the Native Mountain. I mean, think about it. Whether they eat tons of greens, you think Pastor pork is good for you? You add with groundhog fat, it was saved as a medicine. Works very well. Anything else?
How big keep can they dig? I put my fence like a foot and a half down.
I think they probably give up if they're trying to get in. They dig deep into their den. So if you're unfortunate for having to again where the fence is, then they'll find a way under it.
Yeah, so I have a shed like 15 feet away from the garden.
Yeah.
And there's a colony of them living underneath there.
He's got white now. Yeah.
I was thinking of should I just block off the shed where the starve to death down there?
Nah, they'll just dig out. No, you gotta trap them.
Okay.
You gotta trap them. Then once you trap them, then you want to find any holes that they can come out from. And in August, get somebody who's got kitty litter. Get their used kitty litter and put it in this hole. Because what happens is immature ones come around looking for a new home, and they'll take over that den. But they will not hang out. I mean, who would?
Yeah.
And so that's the solution. So in August, you got to do that. And then you'll never have a problem. You take care of it. Okay. I'm going to chop this. Wash hay after it looks good and done. Yeah, a little more. Nothing worse than undercooked eggplant. Many persons learned to hate eggplant because they were so dry. Does anybody have dairy issues? Does anybody now want me to use goat cheese? Okay. Then you're just going to get to have the veggies and the juiciness of the tomatoes. They don't have any other fat. I don't think the fat we're cooking is good enough to really use as an oil. Okay, and that was what I was counting on for making this nice and saucy. You know, it's fast and easy, and that's the whole idea. So we got lots of tomatoes. I'm going to chop those up to be nice and juicy with that. Lots of vegetables. It's going to be pretty wonderful. Okay? All right. Okay. That's it for that. Okay, then what I'd say is, okay, so I've talked a lot about soldier bugs and soldier beetles, parasitic wasps. I'm trying to think of what I haven't talked about. Serpent flies, the baconas and the acumids. Remember we had that one question about the acumids in the picture? We have that picture on the webpage still? Really
It's
wonderful
on the blog.
We thought it was pretty likely it was controlling our vegetable weevils because that's one of the things they feed on is weevils. And we had them in the time of year when we had the weevils. And why we had them is because of our level of farmscaping, even in the winter, I think. We had cilantro, we had bachelor buttons, we had flowers from brassicas and stuff flowering. So that's the kind of stuff to try and have. Things will flower year round, even in a greenhouse in the winter. It's great to have. Another good thing to know, if you have even a small greenhouse, you let your pests build up and your beneficials build up in the springtime. And what happens is it warms up and you open the doors, you just ramped up the whole pest predator cycle. Because they're already way ahead of the game in there and they come right out, both of them, and they get your balance out there early. So you don't get an imbalance because of some weather event or something. So it's great to have a greenhouse and to use it to ramp up your beneficials. Like I said, my greenhouses would have so many ladybugs that they literally were laying the eggs on the walls. They were eating their own eggs. We had predators in there that Richard McDonald had only seen once before in his entire career. His career's been going on for a while. He just couldn't believe the diversity. It's because we literally never worried about, you can see we don't spend a lot of time worrying if the weeds aren't stocking the crop. You know, we let things be pretty wild, and that really ramps up the diversity. So, example, I was taking a class with Chip Hope, who used to run the horticulture class over at Lewis Community College, and he heard my talk and wanted to get beneficial insects in the greenhouse. And we bought those and couldn't get them to establish. They just kept dying. And why they were dying was because he had the classic recommended healthy greenhouse, which is no light for the plants that you want. Not a single plant that might have a disease or a bad bug. My greenhouse was a jungle. The beneficials couldn't do anything but thrive. They just totally rot. His was a desert. We finally covered it up and explained. We got two greenhouses. I release, he releases, mine boom, his dies. In fact, yours is a jungle, his is a desert. What do you expect? You know? So it's about creating the light. Okay, so other things with fire ants, they've actually got a fly that reduces their ability. The ants will not come out of their house in the daytime. Once this, the forward fly, there's several of them they're introducing. They've introduced them in Florida and they're working on them. Eventually they'll be naturalized everywhere. And that's why the fire ants are a problem in Brazil or Argentina, wherever they come from. Because this fly means that they only forage at night, and that makes them not nearly as horrible. And they're just another part of the ecology. You know, whereas here, there are other contacts and they're tearing everything up. Okay, so
Did you tell about the mushroom that takes out the ant?
yep, I will tell that in a minute. So that fly is a big part of the future. Other things that people use, diatomaceous earth is very effective. But as soon as it rains, it gets wrecked. Pardon?
Just sprinkle it around the hill.
Yeah, you sprinkle it as close to the hill as you can get without getting bit, right? They get it on them, they take it in, they try and groom it off, and they spread it. It cuts them up and they die. You know? People actually just go in at nighttime and hit the top of the hill as best they can and pour boiling water in, and that works pretty well. You know, but you're playing with getting bit. You know,
Yeah.
it's a bit of a gamble. You know, but it can work. I'm pretty sure that beneficial nematodes will work because they air the soil.